Adler also believed that love is not predetermined by destiny, meaning there's no destined one for us. How can he deny falling in love? Do you have the faith and courage to take the first step to build this love you desire? The book of the week is The Courage to be Happy by Ichiro, Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. You'll learn what is love and self-reliance in the context of Adler's psychology. This book is the sequel to The Courage to be Disliked, and if you have yet to read that book, I've covered that for you in this video. The Courage to be Happy continues the style from its prequel, which is the conversation between a youth and a philosopher. And this time, the youth returns with a bone to pick with the philosopher. Not this kind of bone. Well, the prequel ended with the youth finding hope and enthusiasm in Adler's psychology and wanted to advocate it in his life. However, after practicing for a few years as an educator, he was disappointed with the results and concluded that Adler's teaching was not practical in the real world and it does not work. So in this book, he went back to the philosopher and told him he has lost all hopes for Adler and Adler is a quack. I thought that was funny. Well, this book, The Courage to be Happy, addresses the frustrations of the youth, which stems from love and self-reliance. And this is the main theme that the book wants to bring to us. What is self-reliance to you? Some may say that it is not having to rely on anybody. Some say it's independent, and some say it's self-sufficient. Well, in the context of Adler's psychology, it is more internal rather than external. It is all about how you see your own worth rather than anything else. When you allow someone to decide your worth, you are in the state of dependence, because you are dependent on external approval to determine your worth. And do you know what's the danger of this? There is no end to it. Because you will keep on seeking others' approval to prove your worth. Any joy that's derived from external sources may please us for a short time, but it will not last. If you can only feel happy when you are praised or being approved by others, then you are dependent and not self-reliant, even if you have the means to support your own life. True happiness and fulfillment happens when we decide our own worth. This is what will last. This is true self-reliance. Next is the subject on love. Now, Adler believed that there is no such thing as falling in love. Love is something we build. And Adler also believed that love is not predetermined by destiny, meaning there's no destined one for us. Now, there are two common questions that revolve around his beliefs. One is, how can he deny falling in love? Let's look at it this way. Imagine that you're window shopping one day and saw something you really want to buy. It can be anything from shoes to bags to mobile phones, anything at all. But you don't have enough money to buy it. So you start saving for months. You are obsessed with getting it. Then, when you finally got enough money and bought it, you feel happy and elated. But soon, you start to lose interest. Can you relate to that? Was your desire to buy the thing to use, or was it just to acquire or possess it? Falling in love is just like the desire to acquire material things. Most don't do much after they acquire them. The love that Adler advocates is one that is active. It is one you keep on building with your partner every day in your lives. It is not just about finding the right person, but how to love the person you are with. This is the love Adler speaks of. The second commonly asked question would be, how can Adler deny destiny? There must be a destined one waiting out there for us, isn't it? Actually, I used to think of it this way as well. However, what Adler concludes gave me a new perspective. The conclusion he had why most people want to look for the destined one is to eliminate all candidates. What does that mean? People who say that they haven't met anyone yet are actually meeting people in some way or another every day, isn't it? However, to develop that acquaintance into a kind of relationship requires a certain amount of courage. We have to take the first step in reaching out, and this requires courage, maybe even more. So what happens when we lose the courage to take the first step? We fall back onto the destined one and give all sorts of reasons and excuses to avoid loving the person who's right in front of us. We reason that it shouldn't be that hard because if it's ideal or the perfect person for me, it shouldn't be that hard. It should be easier and it should fall just in place. With this train of thought, it would inevitably lead to elimination of everyone. Loving someone is not simply an intense emotion. It is a decision. It is a judgment. It is a promise. If you believe your partner is determined by destiny, then you're being passive and waiting for things to happen. Nothing will change by being passive. Instead, go create your destiny with your own two hands. Make a decision to build the kind of relationship that might be referred to as destined. Have the courage to just take the hand of the person beside you and do the best possible dance you can at that moment. That's where your destiny will start. Love is an act of faith, and whoever is of little faith is also of little love. Do you have the faith and courage to take the first step to build this love you desire? Do you have the courage to be disliked and the courage to be happy? If you don't, click on the link in the description below to get yours. But seriously, the first step is a simple step, yet the journey may not be easy. Your test starts when you take the first step. And what's being tested is your faith and courage as you keep on walking this path even when it's tough. The world is simple and life is too, but keeping it simple is difficult, and it is there that the passage of days become one's trial. If you like this summary, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to be notified of my weekly learning. Thank you for watching, wish you well, and see you in the next video.